Yeah, I'm still just a kid, still trying to exist, and I still got my spliff. Yeah,
Yo guys, welcome to Off the Clock episode 2. We're here with McClean. We've got Cole and Jace co-hosting again. How you going, bro? What's been happening?
Chilling, bro. Feeling good. Yeah, just hibernating over winter, getting ready for the summer rollout.
Yeah, you got High Tide coming up and a few other unannounced shows at this stage. Anything else in the works?
Yeah, working on a 6-track EP with the first single dropping end of this month. I'm not too sure when this podcast drops, but it might be out by now. But
about a month's time from now.
September 29th, Man on a Mission comes out featuring Casual Healing, one of the homies, which will be mean.
Yeah.
First official music video, which is a vibe for it. So yeah, just been trying to suss that.
Sick, bro.
Oh, sweet, that's done. Well, McClean, thank you.
Sweet, thanks for having me.
Bro, I just blanked. Who have you got shooting that?
Mason Rudd. He works from his own name under Mason Rudd, but he has a team with him, and he did Casual Healing, Screen Tigers, Eli Superflies, Vicar, and a few other main ones. Really blessed to have linked up with him.
Oh, dope. So you finished it now? They finished the music video?
Finished it, yeah. So just waiting on the final cut, but it's done. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I understand being an independent artist is a lot of things going on at all times, you know, trying to line up your own releases, shows, videos, content. What do you do in your spare time to kind of just chill out and stay motivated?
A lot of it used to be blazing, but I'm trying to slow down on that front. But I've been focusing a lot this year on trying to make sure my mental health is my priority. Because for so long I was kind of just hushing it and trying to be like, oh, it'll be safe. I'll just keep focusing on this music shit and it will just work out. But a few like pretty relatively big events kind of like shifted my views, and I was like, sweet, I need to make sure that I'm good if I want to keep going, you know, for longevity in this music thing. Like, I really have to, take a step back, which I did over winter, which was mean, and then now it's like, it feels like, that coming out of that shell again,
It's hard to take that step back, though, I feel, because it's just like there's always these things that you want to be doing, or like, and you feel like you're being lazy when you're trying to take a step back. I can really understand
For
that.
real. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But it was kind of like, I kind of got forced almost, like it was like various aspects all like kind of crumbled at once in my life, like in career-wise and in like personal life. So it was nice to like have to, you know, almost like it was like mean to like, I just went and chilled with my mum and my cats and built myself back up, you know, which was mean. Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know you, who isn't all caught up with you, where did your music journey start?
I reckon it would have been, I used to play guitar. I learned guitar when I was younger, and I was like, just vibing playing that. And then all my life I remember mum blasting records and blasting like CDs. Like there wasn't a moment of silence in her house. It was always just like pushing like Lauryn Hill, Fat Freddy's, so many mean artists. And then I remember the first time I heard Tom Scott, I listened through the Homebrew Last Week album, and I was like, I want to rap. And that kind of was the moment I decided I was going to rap. And then I went to his show, and it was my first gig I ever went to, Homebrew, at San Fran. I was on a fake ID. And oops, don't hate me. Went there, and as I was watching him, I was like, sweet, this is what I'm gonna do. Like it kind of shifted my perspective on being like, I pretty much just went home, wrote raps, and was like, I gotta get good enough to do this. And I remember watching him at San Fran and being like, I can't wait till the day I play San Fran. And then doing it.
Other than Tom Scott obviously being an early inspiration here, was there any other kind of local sounds or New Zealand sounds or even overseas artists that inspired you?
Definitely. There was Sim Loco, who's he's up Kapiti Ways, Isaac Simmons. He's our dads are cousins, so like second cousin once removed or something along those lines. But I had that whānau connection, which there's someone I knew doing music, and I was like, oh shit, it's actually not as hard as it looks. Like you just gotta do it.
It's not impossible.
Yeah, it's not impossible when when it gets put in perspective when it's someone you know. And also, one of my best mates, Kaya Dennison, his older brother is in crew One Roof, so like Dills.
Yeah.
So he was Max One Roof. He's pretty under the radar now, but I remember hearing his EP that he dropped on SoundCloud years ago, and I was like, damn. I was like, another pretty much the same thing. Like, I've known him all my life, and he's out here doing it. So it kind of inspired me to just try.
Yeah. Early on, were those boys kind of your first step into the music scene? Kind of like linking up with those boys at, what's their studio?
The Vibe Lounge.
Yeah, Vibe Lounge.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
place is fire.
Yeah, it wasn't the first, but it just pretty much seeing them do it, the One Roof crew, and then also Isaac's crew, and they were pretty like tightly connected. It made me step into the scene a bit, and then like a year or so down the track, I linked up at the Vibe Lounge, which was mean, and kind of like it was a good like moment of kind of feeling like, damn, I was looking from a distance, and now it's like we're here doing, working.
How important was it for you early on to like link up with like-minded people, all kind of on the same buzz?
So important. Like that's. I feel like that was the way I kind of learned a lot of the ways of how to like kind of maneuver through, and always learning and still doing it, Like I still love linking up with like-minded people. Like here we are, doing this. But yeah, it was a lot of really important. I think collaborating with people who are running towards the same vision and trying to hit the same kind of, not even same goals, but just, trying to hit goals is like, it like breeds success, I think, and like, yeah, that's what I reckon.
Yeah, it's one of the things that real key things that we've noticed too of like building Windy workshops is like having people around you that are like having goals too, and like always like working, it inspires you to just like, I'm going to come in today and I'm going to do some work because everyone else is,
For real. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a main thing what you guys got going here, eh? Like, for real. Like, I've been wanting to, like, try to do something like this for so long, but I've just been like, I need to focus on my music first to get to the point where it's like, bringing people together. And you guys are doing it, so massive hats off to you guys.
Cheers, bro. Performing live with a band most of the time, how do you find kind of working in that environment as opposed to, like, working with yourself?
It's... For me, it gives me a lot of, I want to say like freedom that I didn't have that I feel like I didn't have when I was just emceeing over my instrumentals. Like the ability to read the crowd, and then the band will lower it down if the energy is a bit low, so that I can then build it back up and capture them again. A lot more freedom in my mind to kind of like be a composer almost. Like I feel like being the front man for a band, and like it was Will McClean and the Zooks, and now I'm just going into Will McClean. It was cool to kind of conduct, and then at the time that was right, step back, and then the band would push it, further than I could by myself, which is something that I think I'll always try opt to play off a band, but then. Like for High Tide, I'm doing DJ, which will be a vibe, cool. And that's because I started off my first 3 or 4 gigs were all DJ, and I had a blast. Like didn't even think about a band, but then as soon as I went to band, I didn't even think about DJing again. But now it's like it's cool to it's like setting myself a challenge, almost putting myself back in that space of being uncomfortable, but I know they'll be safe.
Yeah. Your sound's very raw and your lyrics are very thought-provoking, often political. What kind of message are you trying to spread through your music, do you feel?
I reckon the main is just like to make sure that I can get across the message that we're all so like, well, I can't say all, but I think like majority of people, humans and everything are so blessed to have an opportunity that we do, like to live and to literally do whatever we want in this life. Like from day one, obviously, you learn certain ways from the people above you and around you and all that, but like, you can really do anything. Like if you want to pack up and move to another country, like you can just do it. You just save and go, There's, and I think mainly to not waste it. And so spend it doing stuff you want to do, and then hopefully by doing that, you can push the like power of, I just realised I move my hands so much when I talk, eh? Just like do whatever you want to do, and realise that like we have an opportunity to be greater than just ourselves, like and make sure that while what's the like, I'm trying to think of like the right words to hit it, but I think if I summed it up in like one line, it would be be blessed to be, to spread the message, to be blessed to be here, make the memories you want to make, and make sure that the people around you are like loving it and, you know, all thriving together kind of vibe. Like, yeah, I've had a lot. This year's been a lot of learning like gratitude a lot, and not to get too deep, but
No,
but
as
like,
deep as you want.
yeah, like I've been for a process of like appreciating a lot of just like even like being able to breathe, you know, in a city that isn't polluted, and go for a walk when the sun's out, get blown over occasionally from the wind, but like, you know. Yeah.
I feel like when you're performing live, and I've seen you multiple times now, I feel like you're really tapping in with your audience and spreading that message. So how important do you think it is for like an artist to have a message on top of just being like a great musician? Because I feel being a musician, a lot of people coming to see you, I feel like you do need to, you do have the opportunity to do that. So
Definitely. I think it's the opportunity, which is like, you know, it's like I'm so grateful I've got the opportunity to you know, like say something into a mic and then it be heard by however many people in that room, whether it be 10, 30, 500, like however many people are there. So it's, yeah, I don't think it's like a necessity, but I think it's, for me even, I hold it quite important to my heart, because it's, yeah, not many people have the opportunity to speak to the masses. And so yeah, I will try, I think every time I have the mic, I'll try make people leave once they've walked out that room feeling like thought-provoked, feeling like they want to hopefully do better for themselves and the people around them. But I don't think it's a necessity. I think it's like, because people are lit, and I love going to like gigs where you just jump around and you enjoy it and there's nothing to it, you know, or not nothing to it, but you know, like the feeling of just like going to enjoy music. Whereas for me, it's like, I want to put on a show that they're thinking about the next day and then a week after even, you know, and like,
I feel like that live band really elevates that too.
For real, yeah. It was pretty crazy the first time we did the band. It was we had like one or two jams, practices, and so we learned 3 of the songs. We had like 45 minutes. I just booked Valhalla and was like, we're on, just see what happens. Got some of that, my cousin Isaac to open, some loco, and Cam McClean, who's a mean Pukeroa Bay act in the city the village I grew up in. And yeah, it was like, we play like 3 of the songs that we'd rehearsed, and then it was just jams for the next 35 minutes. Like, and it was kind of like from there, it was, I mean, had that moment of, you know, tapping into the crowd and like just rapping about my friends in the front row and rapping about whatever was going on in the moment, which was a vibe. So yeah, definitely, I think band really helps with that.
Because you kind of gain like a cult following of just your live shows. Like people like know Will McClean for his live shows. So it's like the difference between being an artist and like being a performer, and like you're just killing it as a performer.
Sure, bro.
Yeah, bro, it's sick to see.
That means a lot.
Yeah, and like the whole band aspect, I think a lot more people are like trying to recreate that sound. Like obviously Avondale Bowling Club's kind of a big influence, but like what can we expect next from you? Like, are you keeping with the band or?
Most definitely, yeah. So got the rock with the band for as many as we can. Oh, bars. Look at that, I should be a rapper, eh? But yeah, I think live shows, they have been and will continue to be really important to me, just because that is the true connection. Like, you know, like it's all well and good. I'll always be so thankful for anyone that wants to listen to my stuff that I put out, because obviously I put a lot of work in, you know, and like hopefully it resonates or whatever. But it's different when you can see their reaction and can actually like feel the energy of them. And like, I remember like, it happened during the COVID, like level 2, when we did a few gigs, and it was the first time I'd really seen them taken what I was saying, because it was like, you know, they couldn't be dancing; they had to sit down and like look up. So it was a cool, although it was like annoying that people couldn't dance and boogie. It was the first time I've seen pretty much everybody like take in the words, and yeah, I think it's, I just love being able to have that connection. Like, you know, I feel like it's cool to be able to like lock eyes with almost everybody in the room and kind of like, not that I can really think too much while I'm trying to like, have my bars, but like it's at least cool to have a mean moment and seeing someone resonate.
Because like you obviously did like your first few shows with a DJ, but then like you switched to your band. Like how's that changed like creatively, like making and writing your songs?
It changed a lot, and it was a lot of like, I feel so grateful to the Zooks, because I kind of went into it with I understand music like from a feeling perspective. Like I know when it feels right. I know when it, you know. But I don't have the words to match it sometimes because it's like, you know. Whereas, you know, people that are musicians will be like, oh no, well we want to take it up to here because this will then move to there. And it's like, blessed to have learnt about that kind of aspect from it, and it's made me now approach writing with thinking about the like live shows, but not even just like how can I tie my lyrics in rhythmically and melodically.
So they hit.
Yeah, so they hit with it. Like so on the EP coming out soon, there's like quite a few bars where I can think of this one song called "Listen Up, Listen Close," where Jason on the bass does like some funky lines like do 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 do, and then I hit bars on every like bass that he hits. So it's like, so it's mean to like, it's kind of switched my mentality of thinking like, instead of just being like a rapper or a hip hop MC, it's gone to like, my voice is like my instrument, and like, how can I tie it in with all the other instruments? Because, you know, all the, like when a band plays, it's the coming together of a beautiful sounding individual instrument, and then you have two, and then it's like elevates it, and you have 3, 4, 5, however many you have, get to a symphony orchestra stage where it's like hundreds of people and they're like combining, making one beautiful sound. So I just got to add my little bit of my voice and instrument into that.
Was that kind of like the mentality behind like dropping the Zoots and just calling it like Will McClean?
Kind of. Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
No, it's all good.
No, it's, like we had some similar thing with like mental health became the forefront for our group, and then we kind of just naturally moved away, like, you know, like, because I'm not playing with all the Zooks anymore. It's like we've just gone our separate ways in life for some, like, you know, but still so much love. Like there's no, you know, there's never not gonna be any like amount of words I can say that will have higher praise that they deserve. You know, like they really like showed me the ropes as to how to be a musician, not just a rapper. Like I feel like now I'm still like, you know, I got a lot of work to do, but it's so now it's for me it's kind of like going under Will McClean now. I didn't have so much of the vision musically with the Zooks because I was still learning and taking in what they were kind of teaching me. Whereas now I think it's the first time I've really like gunned for my goal, which is me. Yeah, it's a vibe.
Obviously, you've been locked in the studio working on your EP. What kind of direction do you feel your music's going in, and like, what have you got your eyes on like later on down the line, like end goal, not end goal, but like kind of what do you kind of want to move towards?
I think for this project especially, I wanted to kind of tap in and show kind of a timestamp of where I am right now and who I am right now, and especially with like like I was talking about like mental health and that being the forefront. There's a lot of like vulnerable conversations I was having with my family and my friends and everyone around me, and so that this EP is there's still a lot of moments of fun and like bars throughout, but it's mainly like I'm trying to kind of I'm trying to just show people who I am, like, and so the next EP is focused a lot more on like a more vulnerable side of me and kind of telling a bit more of my story as to how I got here, and then not too sure what after that, but I've got the 6-track EP which I've finished writing, just producing now, and then just started a like kind of beat tape kind of buzz with one of my homies, so that will hopefully be just like followed up 6 months after the EP. Just try to drop like consistent projects, because I've kind of like we've just tapped into a main recording process for me, and so Sam Hunt, who plays keys with me, Jay set up, and Sam will come around and we'll just hang out, and then he'll be like, oh, I've thought of some keys, like I'll record them into my software, and then he'll go home, and then 2 days later I'll just send him a beat that I've crafted. It's purely around his keys. Then Jason comes through and lays some bass, and then might get one of the homies, Ashton, to play some sax on it or whatever. But it's like quite a natural process that allows me to move at my own pace and not be rushed with like, we've got 3 hours in a studio to hit this certain thing we've got, you know. It's like I can let the creativity kind of come and go, which is a pretty cool direction to be heading in.
Yeah,
well, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty mean. And then to backtrack on your question about like what's a goal ahead, I only thought about this recently, but talking about the symphony orchestra, I reckon it'd be mean in a few years to do like rapping with a symphony orchestra, because I don't think that's been done. Like it's been done overseas. There's a mean the Roots did a mean Were you talking about that? Yeah, it's out the gate. Like I've only watched half of it, but yeah, I was so inspired by that. That was actually the video that made me be like, oh damn, like because I see Tex and Benny and that work with the New Zealand Symphony Orchestra, so it's like I'd love to like have a go at doing some hip hop with it. But.
Yeah, there's a lot of artists like that do that. Even like I saw like Macklemore back in the day used to do like a bit of like that stuff too, like having all like the trumpets and like all those like organic sounds like at the live, and it's just, it sounds so amazing. It's
That's mean, yeah. Just kind of, I guess, just got to put my head down and keep working. But that's one of the goals that I'm going to be working towards. So if anyone's listening from the Symphony Orchestra, holla.
I'll forward this video through to them.
Yeah, sure.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
Being like a relatively well-established artist in Wellington, what's some things that excite you, and what do you think the scene needs more of?
I love the like feeling of a collective kind of like collective conscious, I'll say even, but you know, like kind of moving as a hive mind. And obviously like everyone's individuals and like amazing in their own right, but it's so mean. Like I always have any of my gigs, if one of the homies can rap or sing and want to come up, I'll always just let them jump up. Like even if they just look at me and say like, I'll be like, yeah, sweet, do it. Like, because it's always like, I think more than one mind, like, you know, when you combine minds, like brain power, I feel like most of the time it'll end with a better product. It'll end with a better vision, you know. Yeah. Unless, like, obviously it's just like someone that I don't know and I know nothing about, but I'll give them a shot, and if I'll just learn, you know.
Yeah, I feel like that can always happen when there's like no pressure to, when you're just like open-minded to the outcome and not worried about it. It can just always like flow like that. So
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah, it's mean. There's a mean. There's been a few cool things popping up over the past couple years, like Windy Workshops being one, and then my homie Rory is putting on some stuff called Not So Secret Gigs, and it's the last Tuesday of every month, and I just played the previous Tuesday, and it was pretty much like it's just in his room. He's got like a room like similar size to like from the couch kind of this way, packed like I don't actually know the right number, but probably like 40 people in, just like sitting watching, and myself and my band just jammed for an hour, and I just freestyled, and like it's stuff like that excites me a lot. Is the spur of the moment kind of vibes, and Chris CK, like MC, he jumped up that night, and he's jumped up a few nights over the years, and we had a like beautiful conversation after it about how the Welly scene's like so cool for that collective like live show push, you know, like bands are always coming together to do shows, rappers are coming together, jumping up at everyone's shows, like, and we were talking about like trying to just move that energy, and instead of doing it to an audience, just hit a studio for the whole weekend and like capture that, immortalize it forever, opposed to just like, you know, like, so we're gonna, that's one of the goals as well coming up, and that's what excites me. Hopefully it works. We'll find out.
let us know if you ever need any help for that too, because we'll be definitely keen to help you out.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Combine forces.
Yeah, hell yeah. Do it.
That's what it's all about, eh?
Yeah.
Nah, it's mean, and like, I know Mikey was on the previous episode, and I got so much love for Mikey and his energy. I think me and him are really like bonded from the same like branch of the same tree, or you know, I don't know, like the first conversation I had was after one of my shows with him, and he came up and we just had a beautiful conversation about live music, hip hop, just everything. We just talked for like, I don't even know how long we talked, but it was at that moment, it was like, yeah, this is one of my boys, you know, and then hopefully we'll just keep doing some stuff, like plan something mean for the Sunday Sesh.
Yeah, what's coming up next for you? So you got your EP. Do you want to fill us in the gigs, bro? Like, heard you got like a sick show coming up?
Got
Don't know, just heard it.
Yeah. Heard in the grapevine.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the one I'm most excited about is the Sunday session and Sunday session Valhalla, and it'll be a vibe. So that's one that I don't know if it's going to be announced by the time it comes out, but I'll be playing a show at a festival the day before, and so I'm really excited to come back to Welly, and it's my first time properly doing a show with Mikey. You know, I was just talking about the excitement I have, like, with being homies. So it is, it's going to be a vibe, I think. Yeah, the Sunday Sesh. Blah, blah, blah. It's, so the EP will be coming out early next year, but between then it'll just be jam-packed with a lot of cool shows, a couple, I think maybe 2 singles with videos, and then hopefully a whole lot of content.
I was just wondering if there's any other like artists in New Zealand that you'd like want to work with in the future. Like, is there anyone you can think of on top of your head that you'd want to reach out to?
Far, so many, I reckon. Casual Healing again. My next single is featuring Casual Healing, and produced and mixed by Nico, my homie. And yeah, I'd love to do a full project with Nico. I think he's one of the most in tune like creatively people I've ever met, worked with, or spoken with, and I feel blessed to call him a homie. But then yeah, beyond that, like the Welly like hip hop scene, like I reckon we need a suss a Welly rap album. I reckon it's time like to start like planning it. But yeah, like, you know, we got Rob, Mikey, CK, me, Sam from Gallery, frontman for the Gallery, he's mean. So many like just mean artists, I think. And I also would love to do a lot of songs with, or even try to do some songs with other genres, because right now I've just pretty much been hip hop, and I've had like a few of the homies who can sing jump on. But I think yeah, like sitting down from like the beginning, you know, of the creation process, and then finishing it with a songwriter, or with even like a classical, just anyone. But yeah, I think I'm pretty keen to just collaborate with as many people as I possibly can. Like I think, yeah, like I was saying earlier, I think like the collaborating process is such a beautiful thing when there's like more brain power than just me, because I can sit in my room for months, years, you know, I can just keep going by myself, and then someone will come in and be like, oh, have you thought about saying this or putting this instrument here or doing that? And it's just like instantly would boost my mood, elevate the song, like brings it together. But keen to get that Benny feature though.
Oh, so I thought you meant like benefit feature. I was
No, but on that, the New Zealand government needs to bring back artist benefit, because I think it's. Have I swore already, or are we allowed? We're swearing?
I swear, yeah.
I think it's fucked that so many people consume art and appreciate art, yet artists are undervalued, underpaid, underappreciated, and then end up not making their art, depressed, or just, you know, like what, you know, and like I think yeah, the New Zealand government should really step in, and obviously like I don't know fuck all about the economy, so like,
yeah, exactly.
I don't know, but like
yeah.
I see them throwing money around. I'm like, surely just like throw some towards some artists, because like
Trying to change a flag. And
exactly, like imagine, because I know that everyone has. I mean, for me, I think of like I work as a barista as a side hustle, so I can pay rent, you know. Whereas like most of the time, like people are like, oh, my music's my side hustle, but it's like if I didn't need to pay rent, or you know, if I didn't need the things, I'd be music full time, and I'd like actually have the time to dedicate a full week to recording with one artist, a full, you know. Whereas I just can't like viably do that right now, because there's no way.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, that they don't realise that like it can actually make money for New Zealand too, in a sense. Like it can, like I feel like it's just starting now, because there's so many more festivals now too, and I think hopefully they notice that and see that like, oh, like this can actually be, because that's the only way they're gonna do it, like as if it's profitable for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like hopefully when they see that, yeah.
Always trying to get that bag.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think hopefully, I think conversations like this, and then hopefully someone will listen and like then talk to someone else about it, and then it's like you have 50,000 people, 100,000 people talking about it at once, and then people listen. And, you know, it is that like the important conversations lead to the best outcomes, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'll say on the Benny, on the Benny bus.
I'll drop all our account numbers in the description if anyone wants to send us any.
Yeah, if anyone wants to support us. Cheeky, please sponsor.
I haven't even addressed that. Like, yeah.
Are you sponsored by Cheeky? Or
No, I just really like
surely.
their drinks. Like, you know,
Surely.
Yeah, this is legit like the only drink I drink when
It's
I go
so
out, bro.
delicious.
It's so good.
On that like artist stuff, like you think like I was watching like Super Rugby games this year. No one's going to watch that, and that's like our biggest like thing is rugby.
Yeah.
No one's going to watch it, but you see like Benny can sell out like Spark Arena or like Vector Arena.
Yeah.
So it's like you just got to back it.
Yeah.
Because I think like a lot more children coming up are actually like a lot more freedom, like have a lot more freedom with their artistic stuff. That's being pushed a little bit more, but just needs to be backed by the government.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah, it's a buzzy, like, I think we're in a buzzy. I don't even know about the in between stage, but we're like beginning and in between stage. I feel of like collective change and like creatively and like I think always people always gonna like support the All Blacks and all that, but like there's like there's some mean artists and like mean beyond the music like like there's so many good artists out there like and it like well not out there out in here in this one room and then in the city beyond like and it's like I'm just like perplexed that pretty much I mean every single person I think I've ever met consumes art whether it's listening looking at their wall like there's been occasional houses I go to they got no art up but like for the most part there's art everywhere like
there's no way around it.
It's everywhere and like it is it's pretty out the gate but then like that's where the trouble comes in. If a benefit did come in, people like to
take advantage of it.
Take advantage, abuse
that's
it.
The down thing.
And that's
like that's how they have to like. It's weird to like navigate that obviously for them. That's probably why it's disappeared. Like the way I heard about it was from Mellow Downs back in the day, and that's probably what happened. Is maybe people did take advantage of it, but like.
For real.
Yeah, like it definitely, like he's definitely in like a mean position from it. So it's like it's like it does work.
Absolutely, yeah. Even just like. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not in control of deciding all the things, but like, even if there was like a 1 year artist benefit, so you have 1 year to push it, and like after a year, if you fucked it, unlucky.
It was like a uni thing, know how like uni you can like they can like
they're the free
years free.
Or like even like even if you just did like uni as in a sense like you just got like your thing paid for, like your rent paid for, and like stuff like that, and then like maybe you had to pay a bit of it back in the future, but like it was just like a thing like that, like it's just. Because a lot of people don't want to go study, and like a lot of people that I know too are like took advantage of like the course related or whatever, and just like so they could do their passion, and then they started doing mean with it. It's like
absolutely that's it. Yeah, even like 6 months. Like 6 months is well enough time to like stand tall, and like show who you are as an artist. I was so close to going to uni. I was like on the verge of my seat, and then I was like, I'll give it 1 year. Of independent music, and then
Were you going to uni for music anyway?
Well, I would have, but I was going to be going for playing guitar. That's how that's how early I was just starting to rap then, and then like I was like, I'll give it a year of trying to rap, and then after a year I was like, if I would just see how it goes without it. I kind of became mates with like heaps of uni homies anyway, so I was in that scene already, just hanging out. So I was like, that was the main thing I was going to be going for was the money and the free money and the connections.
Yeah.
So now I'm just missing the free money.
Oh no. Yeah.
What a vibe.
Do you have any advice for anyone starting fresh in music, trying to get involved, trying to get booked for shows, trying to do well?
I reckon my advice would be just like stay true to who you are, and like for real, like because that's such a cliche thing to say, but like it really is like. You meet people in the scene and in different scenes, wherever you meet people on the daily who you shake their hand and then you hear them speak and you're like, I'm sure you're actually not like this, like, and
too many times.
That's real.
Oh no.
But like stay true to who you are and kind of like work out what you want to make, but not even work out what you make. Just like try some shit and then like. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Like early on, I was like, I tried to do some singing shit, and I was like, that's not me, And hopefully, I'll come back to it. But I think just be you. Whatever flows out, is it, And put some shit out. That's it. I'd say that's my one advice. Just release some stuff. You can always take it down, but if you're sitting on a single or you're sitting on 5 tracks and being like, oh no, I've just got to wait until the stars align. If you're waiting for it, it'll never happen. Stars align once you just start doing it.
That's like 80% of artists I know.
Yeah, I know so many artists like that.
Literally, like, so I've listened to so many unreleased songs and even like unreleased albums of like homies and even just people I have a one-off session with them, and then I like listen. I'm like, why is this not out? And they're like, oh, I'm just waiting to see if I can get blah blah blah. And then it's like 2 years down the track, there's still nothing, and I'm like, man, like it's not. I don't want to say it's a shame because it's not like it's up to them. They can put out whatever they want, but I think it is like. Yeah, if you get something out, if you're happy with it, drop it. Like, fuck what people are gonna say.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that people get like confined on, like, or they get like fixated on, I should say. Like they think that if they fail, like everyone's gonna laugh at them, or if they think they failed, everyone's gonna like, you know, just clown them, or like even just like, if they fail, it's the end of the world. When you learn from failures, like you shouldn't be scared to fail. Like I've failed at so many different things, and like you just need to learn that like that's all a part of the journey, and then you learn from that thing. Like
that's real.
Everything that I've like, and you don't have to put out everything you make. Like how you're saying, like if you just try it and then just like fuck it, like just chuck it out.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
I've got so many demos that are just like collecting dust on hard drives. Like, I reckon I've recorded over 1,000 songs in the past 2 years. Just like even like just like maybe like a verse, or you know, some are full songs, some are just a verse, you know, some is a hook or whatever the case may be. But like, I just try shit, and then if it clicks, I'm like, oh cool, other people might like this, or I'll show some homies and they're like, oh this is lit, and I'm like, sweet, that's what's coming out, you know. But like even like for me, I put my first EP on Spotify, and then I released like 4 singles after that, and I realized that my first EP was not nice to listen to on the ears. So I just took it down. Like, you know, it was just as easy as like, I just pulled it and that was it. That was the end of that chapter. And like,
people are gonna forget, like too, if you're just like this, like when they hear your new sound, they'll be like, oh whoa, like
for real.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm like unbelievably excited to put out this new music I've been working on. Like, yeah, my heart feels real full with what's coming up. Which is a vibe, yeah.
So it'll be special, bro.
Yeah, hopefully. And then I love it. My mum cried watching the music video and listening to it, so that's the validation I need. You know, I've already won in my books. Like, yeah, I'll show you boys after if you want.
No, definitely. Get the sneak peek.
Yeah, I think that's everything anyways, bro. Thanks for coming through.
Of course. Shop for having me. It's been a vibe. The first of many collaborations, I think, from the Windy Workshops and McClean.
Yeah, see you soon.
Yeah,
sure.
Vibes.
Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's
Father's
Day.
Day.
This one's for you, all the cheeky fathers out there. Sponsor us, cheeky, or pals if you're watching.
I hate it. What it's like to be famous. What it's like to be dangerous. What it's like to be nervous. Can I help you? Can I help you? Do you serve a purpose?